Welcome to the deep dive. We take the sources you choose, pull out the key insights, and basically help you get informed without feeling overwhelmed. Today, we're diving into the journey of British indie pop icon Marina. She's stepping into a whole new era with her latest album, Princess of Power.
Yeah, and our main source today is a really insightful CBS News interview she did with Anthony Mason. It gives us a pretty unique look into her recent health struggles, her, well, very distinctive career path, and how she's sort of fundamentally redefined things, her music, her identity, all of it.
Right. So, our mission for you today is to unpack not just the career milestones, but really the resilience behind her transformation, and maybe what we can learn from that about navigating big life changes ourselves. So, as we start, what's like the first thing that really jumps out at you about her story? Something surprising.
Hmm. Well, for me, it's got to be that paradox at the heart of her success. I mean, think about it. Billions of streams. Billions. Yet, incredibly, she's never cracked the top 10 singles chart. Not in the UK, not in the US.
Okay, wow. That is unusual, especially when you hear she's influenced artists like, Olivia Rodrigo, Billie Eilish, big names.
Huge names.
So how does she see that, this like unconventional path, this quiet but really deep impact?
It's fascinating, actually. She describes her career not with peaks and troughs, the
Yeah.
usual roller coaster for big pop acts. Instead, she sees it as steadily going up.
Steadily going up, okay.
Yeah, which points to a whole different kind of success, right? It's built almost entirely on this incredibly dedicated fan base, people who actively seek her out.
So it's not about passive listening, it's active choice.
Exactly. She even says she doesn't shove it in anyone's face. She wants people to choose it, to love it for what it is. Her influence isn't coming from radio saturation, it's other artists seeing her integrity, her unique voice,
Yeah.
and maybe feeling validated in their own non-mainstream approaches. It's like playing the long game.
Right, built on loyalty, not just fleeting hits. That makes sense. And this new album title, Princess of Power, kind of feels like it embodies that whole journey. It even spells pop, doesn't it?
It does. A nice little touch.
Mm.
But yeah, to really get where she is now with this Princess of Power idea, we probably need to rewind a bit. Go back to her origins.
Okay, let's do that. Where did she start out?
So her background is Welsh and Greek. Her mom's Welsh, dad's Greek. She grew up in Abergavenny, Wales, and then moved to London when she was 19. She said it felt like an innate calling towards music that pulled her there.
An innate call. But wasn't she actually like really nervous about performing at first? I read she was embarrassed to sing in public.
Oh, completely.
Yeah.
Which is kind of wild considering where she ended up.
So how does she tackle that stage fright?
Her strategy was, well, she called it painful. Basically, she forced herself to go to open mic nights.
Completely alone.
Alone.
Wow.
Yeah, her thinking, and this is a direct quote, was, if I'm bad, I need no one I know to see me be bad.
That's quite a way to do it. A trial by fire, kind of.
Totally. Just pushing herself into that vulnerable spot to hopefully conquer the fear.
Incredible. So, okay, she overcomes that. She launches as Marina and the Diamonds, The Family Jewels in 2010, then Electra Heart in 2012, which actually did hit #1 in the UK, right?
It did, yeah. So she definitely tasted that more conventional success early on.
But then, by 2016, despite that #1 album, things started to feel off for her.
Exactly right. That success, it sort of became suffocating. That's the paradox again. She said very clearly, I just suddenly felt really trapped. Like her own identity was getting glued to my artist's identity.
Glued. That's a strong word.
It is. And she just wanted out. Simple as that.
And wasn't this feeling, this need to get out, wasn't it happening around the same time she started facing some really serious health issues?
Yes, precisely.
Yeah.
That same year, 2016, is when she began experiencing these really mysterious symptoms. And it took, get this, 6 years to finally get a diagnosis.
Yeah.
Chronic fatigue syndrome, or ME/CFS.
6 years. That's an incredibly long time to be unwell and not know why. What were the symptoms like?
She described it as this buzzing all over. It started in her feet, apparently, then moved up her whole body. Made her face throb, her whole body felt like it was ringing. It sounds absolutely debilitating.
God, yeah. And it's striking that it took so long to connect it to her nervous system. Chronic fatigue often involves that, right? The autonomic nervous system.
It does, yeah, it's complex. And interestingly, she found relief eventually through breathwork, which, is known for helping regulate the nervous system.
So she really had to fundamentally change things. She said she had to change her whole life, like inside out.
Completely. A total overhaul. And during this time, stepping back from her career, dealing with all this, something unexpected happened with her older music.
Ah, right, the TikTok thing.
Exactly. While she was basically off the radar, focusing on her health, her early songs suddenly found this massive new life on TikTok.
That must have been so strange. She said something like she was so used to like pushing to make things happen.
Yeah. And then suddenly, boom, you get 3 platinum records by doing nothing. Her words.
Doing nothing actively, maybe, but the music was clearly still resonating. What a bizarre kind of validation.
Totally bizarre. These old tracks just went viral, used in countless videos, reaching this whole new generation.
Yeah.
So now she's living in LA, and her whole approach to making music, especially for Princess of Power, has shifted massively because of all this.
How so? She used to plan things out meticulously, right? And journal.
Yeah, very planned. But for this one, she created what she calls an album map. It wasn't just lyrics or song structures. It was like a mood board, detailing a color palette, themes, and the energy she wanted.
Energy. What kind of energy?
Specific words: cosmic, love rush, euphoric, dazzling, bright light, and powerful.
Powerful. Back to the title.
Yeah.
So why this shift, this focus on energy? She mentioned not writing to heal myself anymore.
That seems key. It's like the healing work was done, or is ongoing personally, but the music now needed to reflect where she's at or where she wants to be. She said she wanted to make sure whatever she puts out has a certain type of energy that feels positive. Why? Because, quote, "That's what I really needed 2 years ago when I started writing this."
Ah, okay. So the album map wasn't just planning, it was like setting an intention.
Yeah.
Manifesting that positive energy through the work itself.
I think that's a great way to put it. It's deliberately transmuting her personal journey into the art, but focusing on the positive outcome, the power she's reclaimed.
And she sees making an album as this rare chance for an artist to, well, to make a statement. And for her, the statement is very public. Performing these songs helps her become this new version of herself.
Yes. She put it perfectly. It's almost like making it public means I can suddenly step into it.
Wow.
It allows her to finally turn around and say, this is who I am actually. Like the person you knew 4 years ago has gone.
That is such a powerful declaration, a real reclamation. So looking back at this deep dive into Marina's journey towards Princess of Power, it really hammers home how, I guess, personal transformation can directly fuel the art, and also how sometimes stepping back, like she was forced to, can paradoxically lead to this really authentic, unexpected resurgence.
Absolutely. Her story just vividly underscores that link between, your inner state, your well-being, and what you create.
Yeah.
And it shows that a different kind of path, one without maybe the flashy mainstream peaks, can still build really deep influence and lead to a much stronger, more integrated sense of self in the end.
Yeah, truly fascinating. So for you, our listener, maybe here's something to think about, sparked by Marina's experience. If, as she suggests, publicly stepping into a new identity can actually help make it feel more real internally, what might be one small public act for you? Maybe just telling one trusted person or doing one small thing differently that could help you fully embody a change you're trying to make in your own life. Something to ponder.